the way that I have all my clients know that I customize mortgages. And really, I think that's what I love about you is that you do the exact same thing. We do our business the exact same way. You don't just blanket everybody into the same thing. You want to know everything about them.
Mhm.
Tell me everything, and I'll tell you where you stand, and I'll tell you I'll take the entire insurance world and I'll bring it down to what you might need. Hello, everybody. Michelle Brienza here, your trusted mortgage agent. For those of you who know me, you know that I like to bring information that is of value that's above and beyond just mortgages. And today I have not only a good friend of mine, Michael, but someone who is a seasoned financial advisor. For those of you who know how I like to run my business, it's mostly by referral. And Michael is someone that I would definitely trust because I have worked with him personally. If you're looking for somebody who's got a real gift of breaking down financial information, taking all of your information and breaking it down, Michael is definitely your person. The other great thing about Michael is he's written a book recently, and one of his commitments in life is to make sure that everybody is financially indestructible. So I thought I'd bring him on today. And although I can talk to Michael and we have spent hours and hours and hours talking, we're probably going to try to get this down to 15, 20 minutes. I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. If I have done a mortgage with you, we have spoken about life, disability, critical illness insurance. But today I wanted to, and I've also talked about wills and estates. But today I wanted to focus on something that a lot of people don't talk about and a lot of people are even afraid to think about, and that is life insurance for children. I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to pass it on to Michael. Michael, welcome. And yeah, thanks for always willing to come chat with me. This is not the first chat that we've had.
We can talk for hours, Michelle, but we'll try and keep it brief today. Thanks for having me. Thanks for wanting to do this and letting me help share and educate people on this unique and interesting type of insurance for children, life insurance, and illness and accident and sickness insurance for children, which, by the way, before my becoming a financial advisor 8 years ago, made no sense to me, right? Before becoming a financial advisor, I thought, this is crazy. These insurance companies are so greedy. They want to make money on children. Really? Why children? Do we need this? And it wasn't until I became engaged to my ex-wife, we're now divorced, but I became a stepfather to her kids. She was widowed before I met her and her kids, and we were together for 7 years, had a great marriage and everything. COVID had its way and, we separated. But once I became engaged and I knew I'd be, responsible for co-parenting these kids, I got insurance for myself. And then I looked into kids insurance because I learned actually that, you know, my money's contributing to the household. My money and my income is contributing to the family's well-being and the kids' livelihood and lifestyle and things like that. If one of them gets sick, that I'm going to take off work. I'm going to take time off work. My wife is going to take time off work. That's a loss of income for both of us. That means less money in the household. And the Canadian medical system is paying for less and less and less these days. You got to pay for your own ambulance. You got to pay for private rooms. You got to pay for Wi-Fi in the hospital room. When I was a kid, Wi-Fi didn't exist, but you didn't have to pay for those things. It was all in the Canadian medical system. Now we got to pay for these things. So these are out-of-pocket expenses for a family. And then there's home care, right? If the illness or accident or injury is significant enough, then we may have to hire home care personnel and people. So not only that, on top of that, but I will likely have to go into debt or have to liquidate some savings or assets to pay for things if they
This
get
is
sick.
where I start to get phone calls.
Yeah.
This is where I start
Yeah.
to get phone calls. Michelle, I need to refinance my mortgage. I need a line of credit. Yeah.
Oh my
The
goodness.
stories
Like,
that I hear sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. And then you're taking on extra debt on the house, on the equity, right? Which, like good thing that that's there and you got a house value with
If it's
equity
there.
if it's there. But if it's not, you're in trouble, right? You have to be the bearer of bad news, Michelle. Sometimes I'm sorry, there's no equity there. Like we can't go into the negative. Like that's gotta hurt, right?
Yeah, this
So
is why I'm having these conversations. I'm like, yeah, people, I can't just continue to just do mortgages anymore because clients who know, I have always said to them, there are really important people that you need to have in your life. One is a good real estate lawyer who does wills and estates, a good insurance broker for your house insurance because you have to close on it. You want a good mortgage broker, you want a good real estate agent, and you want a good financial advisor. That is your pillar right there. And I'm like, okay, I'm only one piece, but there's got to be a team here.
Yeah.
So, and I'm starting to notice this a whole lot more. My conversations are a whole lot more. And a lot of parents can't fathom the idea of, oh, I can't take insurance on my kids. Like, that's just, they think it's like a bad thing. Like,
Mhm.
their brain can't even go there because I think they think their children have to pass away or something.
Yeah,
Give a
there's a
little
little bit
more to
of
that. Like, what are the common fears that parents have?
superstition for sure. Superstition, absolutely. You and I are both Italian, and in the Italian culture, a little bit of superstition, you know? And there's a little bit of like malocchio, the bad eye, the evil eye, all that stuff, right? There's a belief in that stuff. So there is that culturally, and then there's just also the whole like superstition thing, but also there's just a lack of education. Like I study the wealthy and the one percenters and the 0.1 percenters a lot. And I've read more money books and watched more money documentaries than anybody I know.
That's why
But
my books are in the background.
I love your books there. Yeah. You've got an amazing, and it goes double. I've seen your place, it goes double. So kudos to you,
Yeah, that's
right?
only one part. Yeah.
I've seen it. They're color coded. But it's okay. So I'm going to say it's superstition, it's cultural, and then it's just lack of education. It's just flat out lack of education, lack of awareness. Whereas I study the wealthy, the truly, truly wealthy, and they think about money neutrally. They think about it separately. They don't think about it emotionally. They think about it practically, logically, without emotion. People are still too emotional about money. Like, I just outlaid the facts. If one of my kids gets sick or dies, heaven forbid, right? Then that's money for the funeral. That's money for like the healthcare system. That's money out of our pockets. I'm going to liquidate assets. I'm going to liquidate savings. I'm going to go into debt. Those are actual things that happen. That's what people do. Or they go to family with their tail between their legs and they go to mom and dad or grandma and grandpa. Like, come on, like just be a little more
Or a
responsible.
GoFundMe. Do you see how many GoFundMes have been set up lately?
You'd think
Yeah.
that that platform was invented for that purpose, which it wasn't, by the way. It was invented for like, cool gadgets and technology and films and arts and things like that.
Yeah,
So
startups.
yeah, startups, exactly. Ideas, art, films, movies. So we think about things too emotionally. And the super wealthy, they separate emotions from logic. They separate money from emotion, right? Money is a tool. Money lets you do things. I'm in Germany right now. I'm traveling around Germany. I'm in this nice hotel and I get to travel around and try great beers, which I love. German beers are amazing. I was just in Italy on a trip with my dad, right? We went to his hometown of
I
frozen yogurt,
know. Oh,
right? In the Lazio region, we were in Rome and Napoli and all these things. We get to do all these things. I get to donate money to my friends and causes that I care about. And money's a tool that lets you do things, right? You can use it to buy a business or a real estate property, give you passive income, or you can use it for hobbies or travel or a wealth of experience. It's a tool.
absolutely.
It's a tool.
Ab-
It's a
That's what I always say. Money is like, I love money of some of the great things that it can do. And even though I give mortgages to people, I can still show people how to build wealth through real estate and putting them in debt, but I can still show them how to build wealth long term. So
yeah,
there's different ways that all of this can get done. And when I think about a lot of my clients, a lot of them were young, single, just newly getting married, but now they're having children and they're probably in the most expensive times of their life and they're like, Would you really want me to add more? I can't afford more expenses right now." What do you say to something like that where people are like, "I'm already at my maximum"?
yeah. I would say be more, there's only two ways to have more money in your household, and that's reduce expenses or increase income. So increase income with part-time business or a part-time job or something like that, or increase income by buying more dividend producing assets, or like you said, real estate, passive income, rent out your basement, move the garage around and turn that into an apartment or something like that. I know the inflation is crazy high in Canada for sure, right? So you're either increasing income, asking for a raise, promotion, job, side business, side hustle, or you are reducing expenses. So take a hard look at expenses. Do you need to eat out 3 times a week? Do you need to eat out every weekend and go and buy the extra bottle of wine? Like if you just take out like two of the bottles of wine per month, like that will pay for a kid's insurance plan. Is that cheap? It's never going to be cheaper than when they're young. The younger they are, the cheaper it is, the less expensive it is. The older
Yeah.
they become, the more expensive it is. So take 2 bottles of wine less a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take one less dinner out per month. Look at all your subscriptions. Do you need Hulu and Disney and HBO and Netflix and this and that and Paramount? Do you need all that? You cancel
Right.
two of those and you're good. $26 a month will get your kid coverage on 37 different illnesses, right? And everybody knows somebody that's got cancer, like got a 25% likelihood in cancer. Both my sisters have had cancer. My mom's had lupus. My dad has had heart surgery, putting stents in. They're all alive, thank God. The stats show we live longer. So don't think about insurance just for death. We live long. We're going to live long times. But we get these critical illnesses. They happen. They happen. You get them, but you live through them, but they have significant medical costs. Why not pass that risk on to an insurance company? Wealthy people love to pass on the risk. They hate risk. They seek to eliminate risk, right? By not having insurance, you're increasing risk, but they buy a little bit of insurance and they eliminate it and they pass it on to the insurance company. So protect the downside is the basic rule. And we're also not just talking about major illnesses that we hear about all the time, like cancer and heart attack and stroke and diabetes. We're not just talking about those. We're also talking about severe burns, right? Loss of light, loss of sight, loss of hearing, loss of legs, arms, mobility, limbs, things like that. Not just illnesses and sicknesses, but actual other things that happen that still contribute to major financial losses in the household. My brother makes a good money as a carpenter union member. He got severe burns. He was in a huge fire, burns all over his body. He had to have skin grafting surgery from different parts of his body. Had to learn how to use his hands again because his hands were so burned. They were like charred, they were like black. He had one of these policies and he got paid out. He was off work for 4 months. Can you afford to be off work for 4 months? Whether the accident happens to you or your kids, you're going to want to be there by their bedside
Yeah.
in the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is when you say, well, I don't know if I can afford these monthly policies. Well, can you afford to not have these monthly policies?
Right,
Because there's a flip side to that. And even if you don't get it, that's fine. But you need to know what the consequences of not having it are
right.
and how that will impact you. And what you focus on will grow. So if you know that that's something that you want to work on, then you will start to, like you said, those 2 bottles of wine, or you might even think about Christmas a little differently with adults as opposed to showering everybody with gifts. You do a
Hmm.
Kris Kringle and you keep it inside of a budget because you
Yeah,
have other commitments. There's different ways of doing things. And a lot of people seem to trust the media as far as inflation being at 2.7, 2.9, just under 3%. But when you talk to, yeah, see, you're laughing because but when I try to tell people that it's more in double digits and starting maybe at 10%, whereas food is closer to 23%,
hmm,
people don't believe it. And so I think that as our purchasing power diminishes, it's even more important to take care of the next generation because it's like parents are hurting right now. And I think we're going to be entering into some tough times.
yeah,
But I think now is the cheapest time to take care of your children and the next generation that if God forbid something happens, you can sleep at night knowing,
yeah.
check,
That's
that's
right. That's right.
you know,
Exactly. You're right. You're going to feel horrible if something happens to your kid.
oh,
You're going to feel
I
absolutely
get
horrible.
goosebumps just thinking about it.
There's no doubt you're going to feel absolutely horrible if something happens to your kid. But you know what? You know what you're going to feel worse about is that you don't have any money in the bank or anyone to go to or any money to come from. You having to miss work to then go take care of, your kids and that sort of thing. Like you're going to feel horrible double. You're going to feel double pain, not just from your kid being sick, but from you having not enough money or insurance or protection to be able to do what you need to do to still have food on the table and
Mm.
gas and make the car payment and the insurance payment and the mortgage payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the
Eh,
way, there's things that you can add on to the insurance plan, by the way, that if you have a clean bill of health or your kids have a clean bill of health, then you get the money back at the end after like 20 years. Like some, you know
It's
what I
like a
mean? You can
little savings account.
exactly. It's like a savings account. Like thankfully, the kids are very healthy. Nobody's had any major sicknesses or illnesses. Well, great. And guess what? In 5 years, we get the money back.
You
Like
put it in a tax-free savings account, you put it in a home savings account, you do something else with it and you make it grow in other ways. But the
exactly.
security blanket is check, all done, right?
That's right. There's so
Um,
many different options. You can have them be paid off in 10 years. I'll just wrap up with this.
yeah, yeah.
You can have them be paid off in 10 years, be paid off in 20 years. There's one option that I chose where every 15 years we get 75% of the money back and then it continues to grow even still.
Mm,
So that's in 5 years. So in 5 years, I'm looking forward to getting several $1,000s because I've been doing this for like 7 years, 8 years already so far. So
yeah,
I'm gonna get back several $1,000s in like 5 years. If
right.
they don't have anything bad happen, if they have anything happen, we're covered, no problem, great. If they don't, then great, I get my money back. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's win-win.
So when I finish signing mortgage documents, and for my previous clients who have done a mortgage with me will be like, oh yeah, this is true. So at the end of the mortgage documents, when I've gone through everything with them line by line, I'm like, okay, the mortgage part is done. Now I need to talk to you about insurance. And I'm not trying to sell you insurance because I don't sell insurance, but I believe in life, disability, critical illness.
Mhm.
And
You have all those.
I do have,
You have
yes,
all that. We
thank you for
talked
that.
when we looked at
Exactly.
your situation. You have all of them.
I've had those since I was like 28 years old, 27, 28
It's,
years old.
it's amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And so I try to, and I tell my clients, when you're buying a house, there's certain things like you need house insurance for a reason.
Mhm.
You need a will for a reason. You need insurance for a reason because your responsibilities, you just bought the biggest investment and the biggest debt of your life, and you need security. And
Yeah.
so, do you know how many people don't do their wills at the time of purchase? I'm like, you're with a real estate lawyer. Spend another four, five, $600, whatever it might
Mm.
be, get it done, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way that I have all my clients know that I customize mortgages, and really, I think that's what I love about you is that you do the exact same thing. We do our business the exact same way. You don't just blanket everybody into the same thing. You want to know everything about them,
Mhm.
tell me everything, and I'll tell you where you stand, and I'll tell you I'll take the entire insurance world and I'll bring it down to what you might need.
Yeah.
And you just dumb it down. And then I know that you're not a pressure kind of person. You do the same thing that I do. You let people sleep on it. They have to think about it, sometimes go through the scary thoughts that might happen, and
Mhm.
then they can come back to you with cool, calm, collected heads. So
Mhm.
this is why I love talking to you because you've in when I sat down with you and went through some numbers, that gave me number one, it gave me confidence of where I was standing and just some feedback without you trying to sell me anything. So that was valuable. And then really taking a look, because I always like to look at my insurance policies every 5, 7 years because I forget.
Mhm.
And you helped me plug in a couple of holes as far as a health policy with another policy, a hospital policy that I didn't even know existed, and it's so
Mhm.
cheap. I can't believe it. So, and I'm just like, oh, that's going to be so good, like that will pay in spades a little bit later on down the line.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, how do people get in touch with you? How do people reach out to you? I'll make sure that, I'll add your contact information, but just so that it's on the video as well.
For sure. Yeah. The easiest way to book a call with me is through my website, and that's at michaelsantonato.com. And there's my calendar booking link there.
I really want to
So
encourage people to call you and reach out to you and say, saw your video, Michelle Brienza told me I should reach out, right? Because that's what I'm telling everybody who's watching this. Reach out to Michael. And
thank you.
yeah, well, I've had the pleasure of experiencing what it is that you have to offer. And I know that we Italians say we can put our hand on fire. So I know I can do that with you. And I only like to refer people that I know and I trust. and that I've had some personal experience with. And I don't do enough of this. I always do this privately because my business is by referral, but I'm in a space in my business now where I am looking to educate people. And my
Amazing.
information needs to live longer than I'm going to live on this earth. And that's my next level of commitment to my clients because they have some really great lives. My clients are not, all of them are not hurting. And so, but they have beautiful families. And now I need them to take care of their families.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
wise. That's great.
Oh, thank you
That's
so
wonderful.
much, Michael. Such a pleasure to hang out with you.